Well, it's that time of day again, the patch 13.06 preview. As a reminder to everyone, Riot said they will no longer be releasing previews with the actual numbers attached. Instead, they will wait for people to data mine the numbers, then if they're wrong, they'll collect them. So in addition to having to follow like 5 different rioters to get the new changes, you will now have to follow every account that data mines the PBE, and then you will have to wait to see if Riot corrects those numbers to if those are the real numbers. That is how we have to do things now. So what do we got this week? Well, Yuumi has released 2 strong, and we're planning on nerfing anti-burst, testing only armor and R and less resists, and Q hit ability. We're also nerfing the ability of the power of early dragons, and some AD items to reduce some of the can only play through bot and early snowball. So, Riot decided to buff every AD in the game, despite also saying that ADs weren't overpowered. So when you buff something that's not overpowered, that tends to make it overpowered. I know, this is a lesson that I learned from Riot in these last few weeks. I had no idea until just now. So AD carries are overpowered and need to be nerfed, and Yuumi needs to be nerfed as well. You know, you have to admire Riot. They're like, okay, we're gonna rework Yuumi and make her super weak at the high ranks, and then we're only going to let her be good at the low ranks. Let's do it. Everyone put your brain together, then rework Yuumi, right? Then it releases, and they're like, good, what are the stats? She's pick banned. At low ranks? No, everywhere. She's pick banned everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. So what do we got? Let's look at these up here. What's going on in the next patch? What do we have to look forward to? Vayne buffs. Now, okay, so Riot has been buffing terrible champions to buff every single patch. They buffed Kennen, they buffed Jace, they nerfed Doran's shield, they nerfed Second Wind, and I was thinking to myself, man, what is left to even buff? How could they even make this game worse? It's impossible. Vayne, that's right, Vayne. Vayne is being buffed because Riot hates you. They hate you. They hate you so much. They just really, really hate you. I can guarantee come back in a week, we're going to be learning the buff is probably something related to her true damage. Why? Because it's her identity. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we're buffing Galio. Now, as a reminder to Riot, and maybe as a suggestion here, I want to help you, Riot. I do, because you make terrible choices every time. And let me give you a suggestion here, okay? I'm going to give you an actual suggestion for how to buff Galio. Do you see this 12 to 10 second cooldown on his main nuke? And this 18 to 16 second cooldown on his CC? And this 12 to 8 second cooldown on his punch? And this 5 second cooldown on his passive? What if those were lower? Not so Galio could one-shot everyone in the funny Galio haha one-shot combo, but so if he doesn't one-shot someone, he can hit them again at some point ever. I believe, Riot, the correct call would be yes, to make it so Galio's cooldowns are like normal, and he actually has like normal cooldowns, because my god. If you ever played against Galio, here's what it's like. You're like, he's blowing me up, and then he runs out of damage, and you just sit around like, and then Galio's like, punk, because he can't do any damage, and you just slowly kill him, and it's really sad. Anyway, that's my suggestion. Talon is being buffed. Why? Wait, this is the first time I'm noticing this. Okay, so Talon is a 50% win rate. He needs to be buffed. Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? We're just randomly finding champions with 50% win rates and buffing them at this point, right? Like, are you bored? Did you just come into the office bored one day? You're just like, someone's like, Jake, what are you doing? I don't fucking know, man. I got nothing to do. Well, you could try to like nerf Riven. No, I don't feel like it. Could you? Oh, well, buff a champion at random. Oh, that's brilliant. Let's buff a champion at random. By the way, you'll quickly notice Riven's not being nerfed. I'm sure it's just a few Riven mains, right? I'm sure it's one or two Riven mains have put in 5,485 games and made her the third highest pick with a 52.71% win rate. It's just a few of them. One or two Riven mains are doing this. Really nothing to look into here. So Ashe ADC is being buffed because everyone saw that coming. Like, what? I mean, obviously, what's their win rate right now? Like, shit. God, I have to scroll down. 47.99%. I'm going to say 47%, even though that's realistically 48%. 47% sounds funny. So you nerfed her volley damage. You nerfed her ult cooldown. Then you gave her like 2 more seconds duration on her Q. Just to be clear, if anyone's living through 4 seconds of your Q as Ashe, they're likely going to kill you. So I don't think it did a lot, okay? Yumi's being nerfed because, you know what? I'm not even going to pile on, okay? It's just funny at this point. It's just funny. Okay, Asos being nerfed. Okay, can we appreciate all you piece of shit, dumb motherfucking dipshit ass mid laners who are like, no, they hotfix nerfed Asol. He was so unique and creative, and now he's not even playable. This is his stats after being nerfed. Like 49%, second highest pick, 40% ban rate, okay? Like if we go down even into Plat Plus, that's a 51%. Now I'm sorry, the champion who presses Q then just twirls his mouse around like wee, just like shooting like he's like wee, dragon breath. They're just like actually doing it. They go like because of course you only use one hand to play, right? So you're just like sitting there like where was I going with this? Anyway, this champion is stupid and he's not even overpowered in my rank. I just don't like him. Vigar's being nerfed. So Riot made Vigar better in bot lane by giving him more range on his Q. Now Vigar completely ignores any lane interaction whatsoever in mid and bot. He just avoids all interaction and just queues people from across the board, across the map. He's just queuing minions. He's like, I scale into late game, but no one can actually reach him. Zeri's being nerfed because we haven't nerfed Zeri in a while. I honestly, like, if we don't nerf Zeri every 2 months, I feel like Zeri's like a volcano, right? She's just always she's always overpowered. She's never not overpowered, okay? Give it enough time, she will always be overpowered. Every 2 months, we need to come together and we need to nerf Zeri or else her win rate goes like this. Every 2 months, you nerf Zeri, okay? Just mark it on your calendar, right? You're like, shit, did anyone nerf Zeri last week? They're like, no, boom, 52% win rate. Because that's it, that's every time. Every time, I swear, I promise you it'll happen every time. The champion... Okay, so we got system buffs to Nashor's Tooth. I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. I'm gonna just say this right now. I don't think this is a good idea. Like, I don't think this is a good idea, right? Like, just maybe sometimes, like, when there's a bad idea, you don't instantly implement it because you just want to see what'll happen, right? Like, sometimes if something's a bad idea, you just leave it. You just don't do it. Like, it's a bad idea, don't do it. Like, I know you're a rioter, so you're like, bad idea, implement immediately. Like, you hear someone say something and you're like, my god, that's terrible, put it in the game. But this one, I got a bad feeling about this one, right? I really do. So then in system nerfs, we have a nerf to dragon. This is the buff to top lane. Remember when I said, and I was really happy, I was like, oh my god, they said they're gonna buff top lane in 12.6. Sorry, 13.6. This is the buff to top lane. Nerfing dragon. I mean, technically, but I was kind of hoping for more, I guess. Cool. No nerfs to jungle, so that's cool. Nerf to bloodthirster, because maybe every AD shouldn't be tankier than bruisers. I don't know. I just think that went out loud. Like, when I hit an AD with an entire atomic bomb, I expect them to die. You know, when I find them in you know, I can't say in real life, but when I stab them in game, okay, when you find where they're farming in lane, not in real life, and you stab the AD, right? Like, you know, you expect them to die, but lately they've been a bit dyingly challenged. They don't die anymore. Not really. So probably a pretty good idea on that Bloodthirster nerf. Navari Quick Blades nerf as well, because, you know, every single champion going Quick Blades being overpowered was maybe a bad idea. Maybe allowing champions at 2 items to power spike into infinite ability winning the game, like maybe that was a bad idea too. These are things that I'm just like, man, that would probably be a bad idea for Riot to do that, and then they do it anyway. So cool. Lethal Tempo is being nerfed, but I have heard it's only on melee, which would be a good idea. Maybe Lethal Tempo shouldn't be giving you 1500 gold as stats at level 1. Maybe champions that are supposed to be late game picks that aren't supposed to just be all-inning everyone all the time, no matter what, because they automatically win. Where am I even going with this? Right. So, Lethal Tempo, I don't care if it's only on melee. At this point, like, honestly, I don't care. Like, it's honestly so broken on melee picks. Like, Yone, Yasuo, Jax, all of them just going Lethal Tempo, and they just haul ass into you. Like, anytime they touch you, they just all in everything, no matter what, every point in time, because it's so broken. Honestly, my opinion, probably not good for the game. Okay, cool. Legend Bloodline nerfed. I actually disagree with this one, right? I don't think Legend Bloodline needs a nerf. That's my opinion. I think Legend Bloodline is fine, actually. I don't use it. Bruisers don't use it. I think it's totally fine. Go for Lord Dominic's. Reduce its damage back down again. Go for some other items, maybe Essence Reaver. But Legend Bloodline, no. No, actually, Legend Bloodline is not overpowered. Not at all. Totally wrong on this one. 100% wrong. Wrong read. You walked in the room. You read it wrong. It wasn't Legend Bloodline. It was Lord Dominic's Guards. That's my opinion. My opinion is a fact because I'm always right. I'm Hashinshin, and thank you for coming to my 13.06 patch preview. Thank you, everybody, and come back in a week. Remember, these don't go live for a week. Come back, well, actually, it'll be a week and a day from now. Next Tuesday, what day is today? Monday. Next Tuesday, we'll go over the patch notes. Come back next Tuesday. Also, before I go, if any of you are on my Patreon or want to be on my Patreon, I want to do VOD reviews. Like, you know, do VOD review things, because, I don't know, like coaching kind of VOD review type videos. So if you're on my Patreon, I made a post. Go post your like game ID and like what game you want me to go over, and I'll consider doing that because I kind of want to get into that. You know, I think that'd be like a cool way to like, you know, like make league content while still trying to help people. I mean, I'm probably gonna bash you a bit. I'll try to be fair about it. But if you want a VOD review, subscribe to my Patreon. Post your thing there, and if it's popular, keep doing them. You know, we'll see. But that's what I want to do. At least try it, you know. So just word out there for anyone who wants to do that. So thank you all. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.